Hello people of the internet, this is Shaky Jake and I really need a catchphrase. In the previous part, we played as the Gorgonites for the first time ever in Home Invasion, which was the name of the first section of the Gorgonite campaign. We have since progressed on to a pillaged village where, after the Gorgonites used a very late 90s beta version of Google Maps, they discovered where their teammates were. So we've rescued Ocular, and now we're going to rescue the remaining 2 members of the Gorgonite squad, so we have all 6 members back for the remainder of the game. So we're going to go on to Battered Home and Garden now, but before we do that I would like to point out that there have been some technical issues with recording this particular game. One of them being the fact that my disc is incredibly old and incredibly scratched, so there are quite a lot of sound glitches every so often where the music just loops certain bits without progressing on to the next part of the melody. That's something I can't really avoid, unfortunately, but what I did notice when I recorded the cutscenes, because my headset was still on, it made them not unwatchable, but it didn't make them as professional as they could have been. So what I've decided to do is I re-record the cutscenes after I finish recording, so then you as the viewer get a clean copy of the cutscenes before I come back in, because I think that's a little bit nicer of an experience. But that's why having the video option down here and on the main menu is incredibly helpful. Not that the developers ever foresaw this game getting played much on a Let's Play, for example, but it does genuinely make my life a tiny bit easier when it comes to recording. So to Hasbro Interactive and DreamWorks, thank you so much for making my recording process a little bit less painful. Anyway, just to demonstrate that you can play the video back, there you go, you can play the cutscene back.
Jackpot, the family computer.
Exactly, Jackpot, the family computer. Let's carry on with Battered Home and Garden, which is located at the Keeler residence, and the objectives are to locate the Freakenstein experiment, Freakenstein, good joke there, small soldiers, and to gather and reattach his missing parts. So let's proceed. And let's immediately spawn Ocular because we've not experienced him yet, and we'll automatically get attacked by Kip Killigan because this game doesn't hold any punches. Let's look at Ocular's stats. So Ocular is incredibly fast, probably the fastest character in the entire game. If I can think back a bit, I believe Ocular is the fastest character in the entire game out of both teams. Vision is really good, attack range is really good, but unfortunately his attack power is below average and pretty pathetic, and his health points are about average. Not the greatest character you can play as, in all honesty. But however, he will make a good scout for the majority of the game. And he's also going to be good as a distraction, like now.
I'm gonna like this. Ready to pound. Without hesitation.
So there's some binoculars here that Ocular is going to get a really good use out of. As you can see, he uncovers quite a lot of the map with these on, and the assets seem to be glitching up a little bit, so let's fix that. This toy box you don't actually need to attack, you can just pull it and it will automatically get destroyed, which is one good thing about having a barbecue. Let's move Ocular over here and attack Link Static. Now, one thing I remembered about this game is speed is incredibly important, because if you don't move quick, it's going to make your life so much harder with all the toy boxes and all the ever spawning units. So I'm going to try and do this as quickly as I can.
Ready to pound. You got it.
And again, sending just Insaniac to take out Chip Hazard, probably not wise, but it's what I'm doing for now.
Interesting. Interesting. Interesting.
So let's grab some health,
Without hesitation.
and then let's activate... Let's give one to Archer and one to Ocular, why not? We can see what his slightly upgraded attack is like.
Without hesitation.
So there's one of two ways we can go. We can stand on this thing here, which if you activate this button is a teleporter and it teleports you to another location in the map. Or we can go up this way in a more traditional route. Let's just take a quick look and see what we get if we teleport. We get quite a lot of units up here, so let's teleport back out. We've got a little bit of an idea anyway. Now,
I'm gonna like this.
I'm going to give Insaniac some health, because I want to have his attack upgraded as well. I think my current strategy is to give everyone a slightly upgraded attack, so then they've got at least a little bit more power and potentially speed behind their attacks.
Interesting.
And maybe we should pull this. If you pull it, you get a key, which is quite cool. And we're going to have Archer pick that up. And that key we're going to need for up this part of the map. So Insaniac, you can have an upgraded attack. And we'll give the next one to Slam Fist if we find one. We'll use Ocular really quickly. And there's a Nick Nitro up here, so we don't want to really... I think Slam Fist is going to be the best guy to send for now. And then we'll send the other two stronger team members afterwards. And again, as I said, the other part, Nick Nitro is dangerous. He almost can kill Slam Fist on his own, which is quite worrying. So let's pick up the health.
You got it. Prepared to fight.
And then Archer can use the key on the door. Once you use a key on anything, you can't lock it back up. It stays permanently open for the rest of your playtime, so keep that in mind. Oh god. Alright, Ocular, get out of there.
Interesting. I'm messed up pretty bad, sir.
Fortunately, Butch didn't think about taking on anyone else in the Gorgonites then, which is quite nice. So let's proceed upwards. And again, Ocular, if he takes another hit, he's pretty much dead. So let's take Butch out as quickly as possible.
Pretty bad, sir.
So where's Ocular gone? Oh, there he is. Oh, I've got to say I couldn't find him for a second then. If we go in what looks to be the kitchen area... Oh god, there's a lot of Kip Killigans. Where did you guys all come from?
I'm gonna like this.
Where did you come from? Go away! Leave me alone! Leave!
Prepared to fight. Under fire!
Oh, and if you go off screen as well, your team members will let you know. We have lost Archer, unfortunately, so that's an upgraded attack lost. So we might as well quickly get Ocular away from Kip Killigan and try and attack with the other two. That was a lot more dangerous than I was expecting. I didn't think there'd be 3 of them. I thought there'd just be 2 or hopefully even 1. Let's do a surprise attack. And we'll go this way for a change, because clearly the other way isn't working as well as I'd like.
Greetings. Without hesitation. Greetings.
And let's pick up a firecracker. because you never know when you're going to need one. Now what you can do, and I didn't really say this much yesterday, but if you find any explosive walls, or if you find anything where you know you can use the environment to your advantage, then what you can do is throw it in advance, and you can then basically take shortcuts if you already know about them in advance. Right, we need to take out wherever these Kip Killigans are spawning from as soon as possible. I believe there's a toy box nearby, so let's do that. Here we go. Now because of Ocular's range, he can deal with that, and we can keep this bit covered if anyone decides to come down. Oh look, they do. Let's throw a cherry bomb, and that saves a bit of time. Right, we need another slam fist. What you can also do as well is if you highlight over any areas you haven't discovered, such as here, you can hear that there's something in the environment that may or may not hurt you, so be aware of that. Usually it means they can hurt you if you hear a noise.
I'm gonna like this.
I'm insane.
Greetings. Interesting. Without hesitation. Without hesitation. Interesting.
Right, there's some units here, so let's scroll back.
You got it. I'm messed up pretty bad, sir. Greetings. Ready to pound. You got it. I'm gonna like this. I'm in trouble. I'm messed up. Ready to bad, sir.
Okay, I think we have found most of Frankenstein's body parts, which is good. There's just one more we need to find, and we'll get those later. I think it's worth Insaniac getting the full health, and possibly another upgrade.
Slam fist.
And I think Slamfist could also do with having a bit more speed.
You got it.
So now he moves relatively quick. Insaniac can also have a shield as well.
Prepared to fight.
Slamfist, I believe.
You got it.
I'm trying to debate who to give the upgraded attack to. I'm kind of tempted to show off Oculus so I never have to show it again. But actually, you know what? Let's give it to Ocular. Why not? I feel being generous to the little guy. Because if there's one Gorgonite I never liked being attacked, it's Ocular. Because if you're off screen, his sound, it sounds a bit like a dog when it cries. It's not a nice sound to hear, and I feel bad every time I hear it. Okay. So this is a trap, and you want to be careful of this, because if you stand in the firing line, you're dead. So let's not do that. Ooh, that was close.
I'm gonna like this. Interesting.
Right, so we're going to want to get our team members over as quickly as we can.
You got it.
Especially as we're about to be attacked.
Prepared to fight. Interesting. You got it.
Okay, so that's Oculus full attack, as in fully upgraded. So it's now got a red spit thing instead of, you know, a green or a yellow one.
Without hesitation. Interesting.
Okay, I always find prioritising the attack of a toy box extremely important, because otherwise you're going to run into problems, as I said earlier. So we can now get a cloned, a cloned squad member. So let's get another Insaniac. I may regret that decision. And Slamfist needs the health most.
Ready to pound.
Okay, Nick Nitro, quick move. Quickly attack him before he does any damage. Like that, because coordinated attacks are always really useful. And as you can see there, 2 Nick Nitros are very dangerous. Right, so we found all the body parts that we need, so let's pick them up. And then we've pretty much completed this level. It's relatively short once you know what you're doing. Right, I'm just going to take a quick pause a second. Okay, I'm back, sorry about that. Now, let's carry on and quickly complete this level.
Slamfist, you got it.
Right, we may as well drop some stuff seeing as we don't need it now.
Ready to pound. I'm gonna like this.
Insaniac can pick up that, and then I think, oh yeah, there's one more body part, so Archer may as well drop that and go and collect it.
Without hesitation. Without hesitation. Interesting.
What I also like to do, not just in this game, but I like to do it in a lot of RTSs, I like to uncover as much of the map as possible, just because I think it looks nicer on the HUD than just leaving a load of undiscovered areas. And it also means that I get a little bit of satisfaction every time I complete the level, because I uncovered pretty much everything. Okay, so let's reattach Frankenstein's body. If you try and put it as any special key item anywhere that isn't in the place, you just get a censorship icon. If you're in the general area, you get a use here. So let's do this.
I'm gonna like this. Prepared to fight.
And
interesting. Work for me without hesitation. Is that all? I am Frankenstein.
And there we go. Another team member got.
Great job. I feel like my old self again. And if trouble's ahead, I can lend a hand.
And that's Frankenstein, so we only need to rescue one more team member, and that is Punch-It, who is on the far left here. So let's go and get him. So we're just left with bunkers in the basement, which is located at the McCoy residence, where the objectives are to destroy all the commando weapons supply piles, which honestly makes sense. I would have thought they would have had weapons supply piles in every single location, but okay. And release Punch-It. So that implies that he's trapped. So the commandos have been pretty inventive with how they've captured the other members of the Gorgonites. So they locked Ocular in a safe. They basically disassembled Frankenstein, which makes complete sense with the whole Frankenstein novel. And Punch-It has been trapped somewhere. So let's see where he's located. So we may as well use our new team member, Frankenstein, who is a melee guy, so he can only attack close range, unfortunately. But if we look at his stats, speed is above average, but not by much. Vision is below average. Attack range, very much like Slamfist's, is lacking. And attack power and health points are really good. So, in a way, it's almost the reverse of Ocular. And again, this is one of the other themes that this Gorgonite campaign plays. You might not be able to hear it very well over my commentary, but it is slightly different from the other arrangement we've heard.
You called? If you say so. If you say
So Archer is going to be our scout because we're not using Ocular at the moment.
If you say so. If you say so.
Between Slamfist and Freakenstein, who has the better attack? Okay, it's definitely Slamfist. But Freakenstein... Oh wait, no. Slamfist is actually better overall. That's a bit interesting. You'd have thought Freakenstein would have been from the start of the game and Slamfist was the one to rescue, but again, I'm not sure. Maybe Freakenstein is better, but to me, Slamfist seems to be slightly more durable and better at offensive than... Oh, I don't know. Both are reasonable anyway, so let's carry on. When I was a kid, I never used them much because I always preferred the characters that had range to them as opposed to characters that needed to be close combat based.
Wise decision. Wise decision. If you say so. If you say so. Wise decision. Wise decision.
So here we have one of the supply piles. Let's quickly
If you say so. If you say so. Wise decision.
let's destroy this TNT barrel here, which destroys a portion of the wall. Now, one thing I used to like doing, because I knew there were TNT barrels on this side of the wall somewhere, if you throw projectiles near where the TNT barrel would be, you can actually destroy the wall in advance and not have to go all the way around. It's a bit pointless really, because you still have to destroy this at some point, but it's really useful because I think up here there's a TNT barrel, and I think I might demonstrate that in a few minutes. But for now, let's go to this area.
Now you're talking.
You called?
Reassembled and ready.
Wise decision.
Okay, this blue thing on the floor here is a key card, or a pass. I think it's a key card that the game calls it. But if you get that and put it here, this will open. You'll get this occasionally through the game, and it's relatively useful. So let's put the binoculars on.
Good call.
There seems to be a toy box nearby as well, judging by
Wise decision. Work for me.
there appears to be a toy box nearby, judging by the fact that Brick Bazooka keeps spawning here.
You called?
Oh, so close. I thought Archer would survive that, but clearly not.
It's your call. It's your call.
Good
To
call.
oblige.
It's your call.
Now you're talking. Good call.
Okay, okay.
Good call.
Work for me.
Right, so let's spawn Archer back.
You called? If you say so.
And I'm going to try my best to demonstrate where this... Oh, hello. Right, I just had a glitch then where the game was minimised to the desktop. I've had this quite often on Windows 10. Okay, apologies there. My PC decided to minimise the game I was playing, which has been happening quite frequently ever since about February, I think. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it appears to be a bug with Windows 10. It only happens twice in a row, and then it will never do it again, but it's still really irritating, and it can happen at any time. It could be the first playthrough of the day, it could be the third, fourth, fifth, it just happens. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, if you pay very close attention to where a bomb or a TNT would be, here this wall has a thick black line, and I never noticed it properly until years later, but it kind of indicates that it's a destructible part of the scenery. So let's try and... This is where, you know, my demonstration's going to flop now, but I'm going to try and demonstrate it anyway.
If you say so. Wise decision. Wise decision. Take cover!
I think we need one more, so
Decision.
I'm going to scout ahead.
Wise decision. Wise decision. If you say so. If you say so. If you say so. Wise decision. Wise decision. If you say so. Wise decision. If you say so. If you say so.
Right, this demonstration clearly isn't working, but I'm going to do it eventually, even if it takes me all day.
If you say so. Wise decision. Wise decision. Wise decision. If you say so.
Now you're talking.
I'm work for me. Glad to oblige. Yes. Wise decision. If you say so. You call. Glad to oblige. Work for me. If you say so.
I'm a god.
Yes. Wise decision.
I think it's also because the firecrackers, because they're relatively weak, they can't really destroy any TNTs that well if they're off screen. But I am going to do it, even if it takes me ages. So we'll try this one more time, and then if this fails, I'll try it with the cherry bomb.
Take cover.
There we go, awesome. So as I was saying, if you already know where things are, and the only reason I remember that one is because I can remember it's there, and also because there's a visual glitch, well not a visual glitch, but there's a visual difference between this part of the wall to the rest of it. You can essentially skip vast parts of the level and get towards the end a lot quicker. Sometimes it's useful to do that. It took me years to realise that was an actual viable strategy, as in I had to be much older before I realised.
If you say so. If you say so. Wise decision. Wise decision. Wise decision. Reassemble and ready. At your best. If you say so. Wise decision.
Now, what's quite funny about this is if you stand in the way of this, you can get knocked off.
Yes. If you say so.
Occasionally that can be useful, other times it can be annoying.
If you say so.
So if we press this,
If you say so.
we automatically destroy the supply pile, and if you stand here, you predictably die. So let's turn that off.
It's about time. Okie dokie. Okie dokie.
You called? Wise decision. You called? Wise decision.
Now I think what we're going to do now is skip ahead to this upper part of the map before we carry on with down here, unless if there's a toy box, which I don't think there is, but let's have a quick check.
Work for me.
Might as well use the
Work
boots.
for me. Work for me. Work for me. Glad to oblige. Work for me. Work
Okay, there's
for
no
me.
enemies, which is
Glad to
useful.
oblige.
I might as well demonstrate this really quick here.
Work for
When you
me.
select these, they
Glad
open
to
different coloured
oblige.
doors depending. Oh, and I
Glad to
missed.
oblige.
Ah,
Glad to
right.
oblige.
That can be easily
How can I help?
fixed.
Glad to oblige. At your service. Work for me. Work for me.
But again, if you shut the doors at the right time, you can kill some enemies quite quickly.
How can I help?
We'll try and do that just to, just to feel a bit better about things.
Good.
Oh.
Okay, we got one. We didn't get the other one, unfortunately. And it looks like we might pay for our cockiness.
I've blown a gasket.
Yep. Oh well. So let's get them back.
Need something smashed?
As you can see, I've not been picking up any upgrades either, and I've been doing that deliberately because I'm getting a bit paranoid about losing team members pretty early on.
If you say so. If you say so.
So I want to save it for
If you
later.
say so. Wise decision. If you say so. Wise decision.
And again, it seems interesting that the enemy AI doesn't attack you unless if you get in a certain range. And I believe that's to do with how much the character's vision is.
Called. Wise decision. Glad to oblige.
Now you're talking.
How can I help? You called? Wise decision.
And yes, we've got a clone. We need that.
Wise decision. Wise decision. Wise decision.
And there's some traps here that you can be careful of. I can't remember if you can turn these off or not. I think you can.
Wise decision. Wise decision. Wise decision. Wise decision.
And as you can see, I just ran into that at the wrong time, which isn't great, but oh well. Now we can get Ocular, who will prove to be a much better scout. Where's Freakenstein? Did we not spawn another one of him? Oh no, he's up here.
Now
Okay.
you're talking. Need something
Slamfist
smashed?
needs health badly.
Need something smashed? Now you're talking.
So let's try and make this guy's life a misery. Like that. So satisfying. It never gets old killing the enemy AI by making them run into this. And now, let's
How can I
not
help?
use Slamfist because
Now
he's
you're
weak.
talking.
As in, his health's weak at the moment.
Wise
And
decision.
actually, let's bring all three of these down.
Glad to oblige. Wise decision. Glad to oblige. If you say so.
And as you can see here, these are spike pits. If you stand on them or the enemy AI stands on them, then you have an instant death. And if there's any explosives nearby, then they'll get set off as well, because I believe they do explode.
Wise decision. If you say so.
There's one thing I do want to double check.
Wise decision. Wise decision. If you say so.
And you also want to navigate these really carefully as well. So as you can see, the enemy AI foolishly ran into their own traps that they presumably laid, but it made my life a bit easier.
If you say so. If you say so.
Okay, let's run
If
back.
you say so. Wise decision. If
Don't
you
make
say
too
so.
many movements
If you
here, because
say
you
so.
could easily
Wise
die.
Avenge my
Or I could still die, despite leading the enemy to me. Wonderful.
at your service.
But hey, it's more interesting this way. So let's bring these guys back. Give Slamfist some more health. And get Archer back.
Wise
We've got plenty of units left either way, so it doesn't matter too much.
Need something smashed?
works for me. If you say so. Glad to oblige. Glad to oblige. If you say so. Yes.
I could,
If you
in
say
theory,
so.
start getting some of these upgrades. Could. I might do actually once I've cleared these
You
doorways.
called? If you say so. Wise decision. Reassemble and ready. You called? Yes.
Okay, apparently my guys didn't follow my instructions correctly.
If you say so. If you say so. Wise
Right,
decision.
run, and then this time you guys actually select this properly.
You called? Wise decision. Wise decision.
Now you're talking.
Wise decision. If you say so.
Right, that's better. So now,
If you say so. Wise decision.
as you can see here, we've got the actual pass card. So we're going to pick
Wise
that up
decision.
with
Wise
Archer,
decision.
and we're going to give Insaniac the shield.
You called? Wise decision.
It's about time. It's your call.
Need something smashed?
Reassembled.
Freakenstein can have
You called?
boots,
Wise
speedy
decision.
boots,
Wise decision.
and if we destroy the
Wise
TNT,
decision. If you say so.
So now all the commando supply piles have been destroyed.
If
Let's
you
upgrade
say so.
Archer.
Wise decision. Wise decision. Wise decision. If you say so, wise decision.
Ocular can have. I think it would be better if Ocular has a cherry bomb, because I think his range will allow him to throw it quite far. Slamfist can have the binoculars for a
Now
bit
you're talking.
and some
How can I
extra health.
How can I help?
It's about time.
How can I help?
Yes. Wise decision. At your peril. Wise decision.
Okey-dokey.
Slamfist, I believe you deserve the next upgrade, so we can have a look and see what that's like.
Good call. How can I help?
Work for me.
And Freakenstein, if there's any health. Yes, there is.
Reassemble.
If you grab that health, and then we'll give you an upgrade as well. That might be useful to see what everyone's first upgrade looks like.
Work for me. Work for me.
And then once we've done this secret area, we can get a, we can get Punch It from this side of the map. Because there's no chance the character is going to be hid behind a secret area.
Wise decision. If you say so.
And we can get another clone option, which will be really useful. The game will present nice little secrets like that to make your life a tad easier. So let's.
You called? Yes.
It's about time.
Insaniac can have that.
Okey-dokey. Okey-dokey.
Actually, let's kill
It's your
Brick
call.
Bazooka first.
It's about time. Okey-dokey. It's your call. It's about time.
Work for me. Wise decision.
Good call.
Right, that ran a bit better than expected. Insaniac can have the new one anyway. The new one can have an upgrade.
It's your call. It's your call.
And again, this secret area is actually really useful because it actually tells you the code that you need for a later part of the level, which we haven't got
Work
to
for
yet.
me. Glad to oblige.
Okey-dokey. It's about time.
How can I help? How can I help?
Right, can Oculus see that little corner? It's a bit of a shame if he can't, because again I do like to uncover 100% of the map if I can. Really? Can't see that one little corner? Oh, okay.
Need something smashed? Now you're talking.
Okey-dokey.
Work for me.
Now you're talking.
Wise decision.
Oh, hold on. I've just remembered, down here, you can't permanently turn off these traps. You have to turn them off for a couple of seconds and then you have to do it again, and it always follows that
If
pattern.
you say so.
So let's do that once I've got the quick characters across.
Okey-dokey. It's your call. It's your call. It's about time. Okey-dokey. Okey-dokey. It's your call. It's your call.
Work
And this is
for
the
me.
first time in the game we also have a maximum team of 6 as well. I can't remember what the actual maximum amount of characters you can have by the end of the game are. I know it's more than 6. I think it might be
How
8,
can I help?
maybe 9.
Oh.
I won't know till the last level of each campaign
Now
anyway.
you're talking. Good call.
Ooh, we somehow survived that.
Reassembled
Okay,
and ready.
not that he needs it turned off, but if we press
Wise
this,
decision. At your peril.
this gets paused for a couple of seconds. It's not for very long though, so we're going to turn him off again.
Work for me.
Okay, apparently Ocula's throwing range is terrible, so that's a shame. So if you stand in this laser, you'll lose a unit. I think that's relatively straightforward. But we can use that against the AI. So let's do that as best we can.
Mother!
There you go. Oh, we lost Ocula because I thought he could shoot from there. Oh, great. Okay, Ocula.
How can I help?
We may as well kill this chip hazard here.
Need something smashed? Need something smashed?
Glad to oblige.
I'm a goner.
I'm here for you.
Oh, I didn't mean to drag it away. Quick, Ocula, run.
Need something smashed? Game. Oh, now you're talking. Game. Glad to oblige. Now you're talking.
It's a little bit finicky then, but we did kill both butchers from doing that. Oh, and I found out his surname was Meatuck, because his was the only one I couldn't remember. Not quite sure why I couldn't remember it, but that's his surname. We're gonna die, I think. Let's move. I believe there's another... Oh wait, no, maybe there isn't another toy box. Let's find out. Although I have a sneaking suspicion there is. Not quite sure what the point of that is, but oh well.
You called?
So, essentially, what you should learn about this game is use the environment to your advantage. I have failed a few times this particular level, but overall I've not done too badly. Now, let's get Punch It out of there, because we need him. And that's all the map uncovered, apart from this annoying bit up here, which is really annoying. And Ocula, get Punch It out.
Let's punch it.
And there we go.
Incredible job, everyone. Now let's head out to the street and check up on the neighborhood.
Okay, now I think one thing that I should mention is that because the game presents unique dialogue depending on what order you do the missions in, if Punch It does say anything when he's released from captivity, it's skipped in favour of Archer's victory speech because it's the end of that particular set of levels, which is unfortunate. What I probably should have done was, did what I could have done last night and played Punch It's level first, then Frankenstein's, then Ocula's. Presumably that would have made a bit more sense as well from a narrative standpoint, but oh well, it doesn't really matter. It's just I'm trying to think of it from the best standpoint. So anyway, let's see what the cutscene's like, and then that'll be it for now. So thank you very much, and goodbye.
Hey, Ocula, any signs of trouble? Hold it. Do you smell something?
Someone's barbecuing.
Take this, you Gorgonite scum!
Melted. Not the way I wanna go.
Having your battery die in the middle of the night, now that's a way to go!
Wait, what's she got there?
Gorgonite scum! If you ever want to see your precious Kevin again, you'll stop interfering with the Commando Elite's World Domination Initiative.
This contraption's from the toy store. That must be where they're holding him.
Those guys make me wanna pulverize something.
Well, get ready to go pound happy, Slamfist, because we're going in. Nobody hijacks a kid from my neighborhood and gets away with it. Let's go!